system have robbed us of everything.
Yeah. Tell it.
Our health, our families. I mean, mothers can't even really be mothers to their children anymore because this system got them working 2 and 3 jobs. They barely know what their kids look like. Same with fathers, you know. This system have robbed us of everything. It should be very clear, crystal clear, the need, the urgent need to stand up against these monsters, because that's what they are. I know that certain people, like the Panthers, and I don't condemn them for it, and a lot of other people call cops pigs. MOVE don't call cops pigs, because pigs ain't never did what cops did. They never did what cops did. Our belief is life. Our belief is life. And life, no form of life, no species of life have ever done what these cops and officials of this system do. So, let's be clear on who our enemy is and the urgent need to stand up and fight back. They are killing us. Would you stand by and watch your next door neighbor put his hands around your throat or try to stab you without fighting back with everything you got? No, you wouldn't. But when it comes to cops and officials, some people, you know, they're like stunned and can't see the urgent necessity to do what's necessary to stop these monsters. We need to wipe the film off our eyes and be clear on where our fight is. We are in an urgent battle for our very existence. You got, what's it called, Zika? You got hepatitis C, you know, AIDS, you know, it's for
TB.
Yeah.
I just heard today that water in New York should be filled right now. Oh my God.
We're fighting a battle about the water at SCI Greaterford, where my brother Mike Africa is, because the water stinks. And, you know, this is the water that these inmates have to drink and bathe in. I mean, having to shower in it is bad enough. They say when you come out the shower, you can smell the stench of the water, but have to drink it too, you know? And we're battling with these people about it. If you're dealing with a system that is poisoning the very water you have to drink, I mean, come on. Those prisoners can't go to the store and buy bottled water. Not that that's the solution, because when you go and buy bottled water, talking about water that's been sitting in plastic for who knows how long, you know, it may be better than what comes out the tap, but it's not the solution. You know, the solution very simply for Mumia, for all inmates, for all of us outside of the prison walls, for all of life, is for us to take an uncompromising stand against this system so it stops putting innocent people in prison, stops executing innocent people in prison or anybody else. Because they can't assume that whoever they say is guilty and, you know, put in prison is actually guilty. They can't assume it, and we can't either. They said I was guilty, put me in prison for 7 years. I'm not guilty of anything except fighting a vicious enemy. And if that makes me guilty, makes me free, so be it. And that's Mumia's position. And that's why they could not kill him through execution, because we stopped that. Several times they tried to do that. So they put him in population, and Faulkner, the wife, Maureen Faulkner, she came out and said that you know, now that Mumia didn't have the, I forgot what word she used, like protection of solitary confinement, that basically he was more accessible, like to get what he deserved. That was her mentality when Mumia went in general population. And it seems that she knew what she was talking about, because she didn't necessarily have to be talking about another inmate trying to take Mumia out, you know. She could be talking about these officials, prison administrators, taking Mumia out. And while I talk about the whole picture, I feel like Bob Boyle is doing a really good job, okay?
Yeah, he is.
But we can't rely on these courts. He told you this was an emergency petition for a preliminary injunction to get Mumia the treatment he needed. That was in December. It's now April. What happened to the emergency? You know?
Yes.
I mean, why is this judge taking so long to make a decision? You know, he could have ordered the treatment until he made a decision.
Exactly.
We're talking about a life and death situation. And like Bob told you, there is no decision for real in our favor, in Mumia's favor, because a decision that appears to be in Mumia's favor, it's not really, because the other side's going to appeal. So what does it mean? If a decision is made not in Mumia's favor, then Bob and the legal team will appeal. So, I mean, we can't afford to sit back and keep letting them play these goddamn games with us like we're stupid and don't know what's going on. You know, we have to be strong and consistent and uncompromising with these people. How can we expect them to take us seriously, take Mumia's life seriously, if we're letting them get away with this nonsense? We can't. We cannot do it. We have to be serious. We have to show them that we're serious and that we can't be fooled. We're not stupid. We see the games that they're playing. You know? I'm not saying that Bob, you know, isn't doing what he does as a lawyer. Yeah, he's doing all that he can. But what I'm saying is that we can't rely on that.
No, we can't.
Our work is to give Bob the leverage so that when he does go in the court, that those court officials, the judges, etc., know that they got something serious
That's right.
on their hands.
There you go.
And MOVE have set that example.
Yes.
Our brother Mike, back in 2000, the cops snatched him. And they were going to lock him up. And when we stepped on him and told him, we want our brother back now, or they got a serious problem on their hands, they opened that van door and let our brother out. And it wasn't because they're intimidated by Ramona Africa or Pam Africa or Sue Africa or Carlos Africa or any other Africa. They got their ass whooped by the entire history of MOVE. At that point, like 35, 40-year history of MOVE. And they knew that when we said you'll have a problem on your hands, they knew we meant it. And that's the example that we all have to set. We got to make believers out of them. They don't believe nothing because they haven't seen that kind of example, except, you know, occasionally with certain people. We have to set that example. I'm not saying that it's easy, that it will be easy, that it has been easy. But what they're spitting on us ain't easy either. And what I'm talking about is putting an end to what we've been suffering at the hands of this system, putting an end to what our brother Mumia has been suffering at the hands of this system. We gotta be strong, we gotta be serious, we gotta be consistent. Ain't no getting around it. Ain't no cutting corners, no quick fix. We gotta be in it for the long haul, with the understanding that this doesn't just benefit Mumia, it benefits us.
All of
It
us.
benefits all
right.
of us. So that's the message I'm bringing here. Look at the entire picture. Make up your mind to do what's necessary, no matter how hard it may seem, because it ain't as hard as what we're experiencing now. It ain't as hard as what we will continue to experience if we don't really dig our heels in and commit ourselves to doing what's necessary. So that's how urgent things are, not simply for Mumia, but for all of us. All of us. Well,
Right.
this will be